Not a single new game mechanic in 15 years. Give me a living, simulated world, true non-linearity. Give me something more than loot boxes, maintenance shafts, loading screens, and level grinding in a static, scripted world. That's Daniel Vavra, director at Warhorse Studios, the team behind Kingdom Come Deliverance. He posted that last night on X, talking about The Outer Worlds 2, one of Xbox's biggest releases this year, an Obsidian sequel that's had Microsoft's money and years to innovate and couldn't manage to add a single new idea that hasn't already been done to death. Publishers keep telling us that $70, $80 is the new normal. Bigger budgets, bigger games, bigger prices, but the data proves that's a lie. 55% of the most played games on Steam in the last 18 months cost $20 or less. But sure, $80 is the future. The proof is absolutely devastating. Quotes from out-of-touch executives, sales data, player spending patterns, and it all points to the same answer. AAA is charging more for less, and it's not a secret anymore. So before you pull the trigger on pre-ordering, just hear me out. To really understand this, first we need to hear straight from the mouths of the out-of-touch execs actually setting these prices. And believe it or not, they just keep getting worse. Strauss Zelnick, Take-Two CEO, kicked this off back in 2020 when NBA 2K21 became one of the first $70 games. He said that we're offering an array of extraordinary experiences, lots of replayability. We think consumers are ready for it, as if we'd all been holding our breath for a price hike. Then there's Yves Guillemot at Ubisoft defending Skull and Bones at $70. His justification was, it's a really full, triple, quadruple A game. The guy invented a new tier for a live service pirate game that launched, underperformed, and became a laughingstock in under 6 months. But here's the one I actually can't believe came out of someone's mouth. Sean Layden, former PlayStation executive, he said it's a $250 billion global business, but the actual number of players doesn't grow at the same pace. We're just getting more money from the same people. Now, to be fair to Layden, he's not bragging, he's warning. He's admitting that the industry isn't expanding the audience, they're just extracting more from the people that are already there. That's the problem, they can't grow the audience, so they're just raising the prices instead. Except here's where it all falls apart. That same year, PlayStation's profits were up 43% to $2.82 billion. Record profits. So when Layden talks about needing more money from the same people and publishers defend $80 price tags, they're not doing it because they're struggling, they're doing it because they can. This has never been about sustainable costs or underpaid devs or any of the other rubbish they try and spin. It's only ever been about keeping shareholders fat while pretending $70, $80 is doing you a favor. Meanwhile, 77% of all gaming revenue in 2024 came from in-game monetization. Microtransactions, season passes, DLC, coins, outfits, battle passes, whatever. Not the game's price tag. So when publishers say they need $80 to cover the costs, that's not even where the majority of their money comes from anymore. The $80 isn't about keeping the lights on or helping devs pay their rent. It's just another revenue stream on top of everything else they're already charging you for. Which brings us nicely to a study done recently by Ampere Analysis. They studied the top 150 most played games on Steam over 18 months, tracked their average selling price over that entire period, factoring in all of the discounts, all of the sales, everything. 55% of those top 150 games had an average cost of $20 or less. Only 3% had an average cost of more than $50. And of those 150 games, only one had an average price of over $60. Split Fiction. That's it. One game out of 150. They even said in their report that Steam users are considerably less active on high-priced games. A recent survey found that only 36% of PC gamers will buy a game at full price. The rest wait for a sale or don't even bother. So clearly publishers can just charge what they want. It doesn't mean anyone's actually buying it, especially when the games themselves aren't innovating anything. Legend of the game, Cliff Bleszinski, called this out perfectly. He said the problem with large companies is simple. The people control controlling the money don't want to invest in new IP or innovation. They only stick to what already works. And what a quote this is from him. Where do you think the existing IP came from in the first place, you idiots? Somebody has to take a risk. And he's right. Every franchise that publishers now milk to death, someone, somewhere, at some point, had to greenlight the original idea when it was completely unproven. But that's not how it works anymore. Revenue models, spreadsheets, finance teams saying Fortnite made X, so our knockoff can make Y. That's what gets funded now. Not ideas, not risks, definitely not fun. And you can see it in the games that come out. Another Assassin's Creed, another Call of Duty, another Far Cry, the same open world checklist, the same progression systems, the same towers to climb. Even when AAA does try something new, it's usually just a proven formula from a competitor that they've tried to repackage. AAA studios simply optimize for risk reduction over any form of creativity. Which brings us to the most damning stat of all. In 2024 till September 2025, we spent over $1.4 billion on remakes and remasters. That's the clearest vote of no confidence. We trust 20-year-old ideas more than we trust AAA's new ones. When the back catalogue is safer than the future, the trust is gone. But publishers love to dismiss indie success with the same line. They only sell because they're cheap. Bargain bin games for people who won't pay real money. And I see you in the comments section, people saying, of course it sold, it's 20 quid, as if the price is the only reason anyone buys anything. Except that's not how it works, not even close. Look at Dispatch. It launched a couple of weeks ago, $24.99, pure narrative, choice-driven, kind of game AAA used to make before they decided story-focused, single-player experiences weren't profitable enough. It's just sold 1 million copies in its first 10 days. That shouldn't work according to modern AAA logic. No live service, no battle pass, no microtransactions, just a focused narrative game that respects your time and gives you choices. And don't even get me started on Baldur's Gate 3 again, or we'll be here all day. But here's the thing that people actually miss when they say indies only win because they're cheap. Most cheap games fail spectacularly. 18,000 new games hit Steam in 2024. Another 13,000 so far this year. Most of them under $10, and most of them dead within weeks. In 2023 alone, about 40 new games a day launched on Steam, and 99% went nowhere. Being cheap doesn't save you, it just lowers the barrier to entry. What actually makes these games succeed is that they offer what AAA games won't. We're just tired of the same repetitive blockbusters and monetization overload. Indie studios offer creativity, passion, and new ideas. The reason we buy these games is for originality, innovation, and trust in getting what we paid for. Not because it's a low price. Those are the things that used to define AAA. Now they're what define everything AAA isn't. Games didn't just get more expensive, they got lazier and they got greedier. Publishers can keep defending their price hikes with talks of budgets and inflation and extraordinary experiences, but we've already voted with our wallets, with our time, with where we choose to spend both. If you want $80, $70, give us that much imagination. Give us that much innovation. Give us games that justify the premium instead of sequels that just assume it. The trust is gone, earn it back, or get comfortable being irrelevant. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, appreciate you. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more. Thanks again, I'll see you in the next one.